we have our very first performer, the lovely, beautiful, sexy red dress, G.Denise. Clap it up for her. Can we get into this dress first of all? Give him a twirl. Give him a twirl. Ah, 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 ah. All right. Do you want this mic stand? Okay, I got you.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Can you hear me? Okay. I was not expecting to go first, so please forgive me right now. Um, so the theme is love. Obviously, there's different levels, different layers. Can't really hear. Okay, there we go. Could be familial. It could be about breakups. It can be about many things. This particular piece is heavy for me because I had never been in a situationship until recently. I always avoided them successfully, but now I have a story to tell. Um, and it is called I Don't Think Valentine's Day is for Me. Give me a second. Valentine's Day is approaching, and I could not be any less enthusiastic or concerned. I don't think I have any interest in commercialized Hallmark holidays anymore. I believe that Valentine's Day is specifically for exquisite lovers who know what it's like to be pedestalized. And while I have had me some lavish loves, they always ended by surprise. As a writer, I am tired of having to constantly document the remembrance of how it feels to watch someone experience relief whenever they leave me. I'm fatigued of writing different versions of the same fucking poem over and over. I don't want to be perceived as the repetitively tragic poet who never knows if she's going to regret writing prose for people who will ruin me. You see, to go from being love bombed by passion to being unloved in the past tense is enough to make me avoid falling in love forever. Because ever since I was 18, from my first love until my last, I have gathered a surplus of love tales that ended abruptly with indefensible breaches of trust. I have recollections of dry heaving when I discovered the cheating and we screamed our gut-wrenching goodbyes to each other. I telepathically felt my ex-lovers and their hidden significant others under covers and feeling spasms of agony when the phone number that belonged to the one I was not supposed to worry about suddenly danced across their phone screen. I would find out and run into my bathroom and descend into my tub's porcelain, shrieking while they tossed and turned across town and the mistress whimpered in ecstasy. The laughter in me died while they shared giggles that brought them to life. Moonlight rippled onto their bodies while solemn darkness crushed mine. Their skin glistened while they spooned. In my situation, my skin was ashy and covered in the debris of gradual abandonment. And other women's voices became their muse. Mine became a nuisance. I meant nothing, and my exes gave zero fucks about my heart because hedonism and a quick piece of pussy meant more to them than the depth of the distress they caused by having a mindless affair. Without hesitation, they chose to compulsively lie and manipulate someone they claimed to love at the drop of a dime. And do you know that my dreams and my womanly intuition always told me so? I would like to know what it is about me that makes me a mark for trickery. Is there an unspoken target on my fucking forehead? Or is everybody just that dead inside to the point where commitment is non-existent? I have been through so many circumstances where women smooth talk me with delicacies of charm, so it's perplexing to me how I continually choose human relics of emotional harm, sort of like how I did with my last unrefined relationship / situationship with you. The one who I loved beyond scientific and spiritual understanding, the one who elevated my consciousness without planning. I know that technically we were not a union, and you reminded me whenever you took those girls into corners where you thought I couldn't see, so you could admire them in private like you used to do with me when I was your silent little secret. Whenever I raised issues about the impolite moves I saw in public, you told me I had it all wrong and you wouldn't fess up. But if you saw a nigga talking to me, you became possessive and you wouldn't let up. When it was your turn to play around, it was fine. But when other studs would huddle around the wonderment that is my rare African beauty, all of a sudden you understood what the fuck it meant to be exclusive. And I found that amusing because the same revolving romantic door you opened to welcome other women's attention seemed to close itself shut whenever your homeboys, who heard about how much you fucked up, chose to swoop in and take the position you were too arrogant to think I could replace. After all of the minutes we spent tending to us, I should have never had to beg for your quality time. I fucking cried on the phone and said I was dying for just one touch, but you ignored me, and in my face you held waist and pushed on bumpers without seeing if I was feeling okay. After all of the otherworldly devotion we gave to one another, cutting through skin of our childhood traumas and watching the pressure seep through slits before we made love and soothe the wounds away. None of that shit should have happened. Baby, that was callous, and I get that. Despite our powerful connection, there were a few incompatibilities we could not look past that were not too bad, but were enough for us to have to drastically move apart. Give me a second. Ooh. And you wanted to blame your ghosting on being drained by our roller coaster, but how come it seemed like you only vanished on certain days of the week around the same time? Who was that slot reserved for? Towards the end, you wouldn't oblige when I asked for quality time, but whenever you demanded it, we had to bend the rules in. I had to come running with the jewels of devotion. I was done whining on my bed sheets, feeling dismayed as you laid next to not just one, but a bunch of women whose names you failed to mention. And then when I finally went mental, you called your friends and treated them like stringed instrumentals, playing them while saying to them I was causing unnecessary mayhem, which made them watch my every move online and report my relentless venting to you in real time without knowing the full extent of your ill intent and bullshit. And you were sure to leave out the precise breakup essentials, like how in the beginning you kept telling other unsuspecting women I was just a friend, reducing my significance. Meanwhile, the whole time you was trying to play hide and seek inside my panty line and tried to get to paradise between my thighs. And then when they started to inquire, you lied to them, because what you call polyamory is expecting each bitch to be faithful to you while you are loyal to no one. And then you wonder why I never believed the look in your eyes when you told me that those women who lurked behind the scenes were just your fucking friends. Because remember, I used to be one too. And no, you didn't tell your peoples how you were sometimes sneaky and covert about where you were and who you were with, describing certain social outings with people without calling them by name, leaving out details. All of a sudden, everybody became non-binary in the conversation because you knew if you said her instead of they, the fuckboy bells would go off. You took omitted half-truths from your book of matches. You ripped them off one by one and scratched them against the strip on the back, taking the fire and making sure you gaslit me into flames that burned down the house of trust we built. Dishonesty was a blaze you flickered into me sometimes, and you thought I was clueless. I was sobbing in pain through cellular waves, pleading to see you, but you ignored me, claiming there was no time, but you always had time to grind on your little crushes and strange admirers in front of me. You would ask for examples of the emotional trespassing during the heat of our arguments when I was too exhausted to articulate. The consistent stress ingested all the recollections, and I could not resurrect them because they were short term. And I can't recall every detail that made me dry heave, my love. Like when you would flirtatiously play fight with the girl that you fancied in front of my face, like you were looking for a reason to touch her. You didn't even kiss me that day, but you had time to slap her thighs and run like a little boy looking to impress who he had a mild desire for. I confronted you when you said, well, at least I did it in your face. I ain't got nothing to cover. But it was the same woman who spent the night at your home twice when I begged you time and time again not to be alone with her or with any others, and I hated watching sexual tension brew with multiple women you claimed you did not touch but fucked with your eyes when I was right there beside you. And you would have killed me if the hypocritical shoe was on the other foot. What's crazy is that as I'm saying all of this, I hate myself because despite the occasional womanizing and constant hopscotching on top of my boundaries, you were perfect for me. You did love me intensely. You were my therapist, and I cherished it, but I don't know why I allowed it to go on for so long, and I'll never know because I'm too busy recovering. I'm too busy recovering. What was that shit that Jasmine Sullivan said? Something about not being scared of lions and tigers and bears, but scared of loving you. But I wasn't like her. I dared to love you. I would dance above you. I would have pranced across dangerous lands to rub you. And any chance a nigga decided to take a glance my way, I dubbed them for you. But you didn't do the same to those other bitches for me when they sensually grinned in your face in front of me. And you know what pisses me off and throws me off the course of firmly standing on business is that despite everything that occurred, I still fucking love you. All of you, including that little asshole inside of you who sometimes loved to grab the admiration of women more than you did my comfort. Apart from the misogyny, you were pure. Apart from the pain you gave me when you made those reckless errors, you would have flown through busy streets or scorching concrete to calm my nerves. You researched the side effects of my antidepressants and gave me herbs to settle me down. I readjusted your crown when you wanted to step down from your title of a royal artist, and I kissed your forehead to make sure you did not drown. And even with all that you have done, if you came up to me and got on one knee and asked me to be your bipolar wife and the mother of a child I never wanted before you, I would backflip into your arms with a speed that even a gymnast like Simone Biles couldn't beat. Maybe that's because I don't know my self-worth. Maybe it's because I wish to make myself hurt. Hell, maybe I got it all wrong. Maybe you did nothing and my anxiety made me prematurely step first. I don't know, but I will accept that even if I had it all wrong, I didn't deserve to feel crazy and have all of the nervous breakdowns when the stories and the disappearing acts didn't add up. I wanted to feel safe and peaceful like how it was at the start before we dropped the atomic bomb of the end. I can say I learned a lot from loving you and others like you. And I finally concluded that it ain't me that's the problem. It's y'all's romantic greediness. And I feel like all of you decide to indulge in gluttony and binge eat the essence of several black femmes just to feed something in yourself that's missing. All while y'all scream, these hoes ain't loyal, as if any of you ever fucking were. But it's all good. I'll move along and I'll finally know love without deception. Maybe it could even be with you. If you manned up and realized that ego strokes won't be enough to get you through losing the best woman you have ever known in your life. Maybe, just maybe, I will get into a loving relationship that won't make me look at Valentine's Day like it's an enemy on my calendar anymore. Thank you. Whew, that was rough. So if anybody has had a situationship, I hope that you can relate to that piece. Again, my name is G.Denise. I'm G.Denise Writes on Instagram. If you haven't already followed me, I see enough of y'all crying already. It's okay. Y'all can hug me afterwards. It's all good. I love y'all. Thank you. Thank you.